Thank you, Darren and Cameron. Our next set of announcements are around universal governance. Governance means each person being able to see the right data at the right time. And when we talk about doing this at scale, that means that the governance adapts dynamically as your org changes, as roles and responsibilities change. CIOs love that we designed and architected governance into the foundation of the platform from the beginning. And we've continued to build capabilities, expanding and extending that governance foundation. Today, we're announcing 4 additional capability sets. As you've been expanding company-wide with Domo, these have been among your top feature requests. You asked, and we listened. Today, we're bringing you the next generation of universal governance.
Bringing an entire business with all of its data, people, and systems into a single platform. And managing who has access to what might be intimidating. We designed Domo to integrate seamlessly with existing business systems, so governance is centrally managed by the identity systems your IT department already has in place. Everyone in your company is unique, with attributes that identify their association with a department, role, or position. Some attributes are flexible and owned by individuals. Others are protected and centrally managed by your identity system. We call them trusted attributes. Domo's new dynamic groups use these trusted attributes, so IT controls what people can access. When an IT admin assigns attributes to a new hire, their access to data in Domo is governed by your identity system. Now, when your company adds a new department to Domo, access to all of the relevant content is shared with the dynamic group. And transitioning an existing employee to a new department is represented in Domo through immediate changes in group membership and data permissions. So bring on the other departments, the acquisitions, and the contractors. No matter how many people you have, how many identity providers you use, or how much you have to share, you'll be ready with Domo.
Please join me in welcoming to the stage Adam Lanefeld, SVP of Product, and Jim Kowalski, GM of North America Enterprise here at Domo. They will show you these new features.
Adam, I'm pretty psyched after I just saw that video. I can tell you, as I talk to our customers, I get to travel around a lot and see them. Probably one of the biggest things I hear is they're going from hundreds of users to thousands, and from thousands to 10, even 20, 30,000. And they want ways to put all those users into Domo in a way that's governed and secure with IT. I'm just a simple sales guy, but based on what I just saw, that looks like that fixes that. Is that true?
Yeah, it's actually extremely true. So the needs of governance in the past typically have meant that CIOs had to lock down rather than open up. And we really had this condition where in the enterprise space especially, you had small entitled groups that had access to data, or you only had a few systems that were broadly available. And that was kind of the way you could do it, where governance was ensured, and the CIO was like, yeah, we got it under control. So today, we're announcing Domo's Universal Data Governance, which is really that seems so much better when we were talking about it. This is really the CIO's way to manage entitlements and personalized data, no matter where it comes from or what system it has come from.
So what does it look like in the enterprise?
Well, so the audience here, Jim, knows that there are a couple really familiar problems. And the first one really is the one that I call the first in problem. And I think a lot of you have dealt with that. A lot of you that I've talked to had the issue where maybe you were marketing and you were the first group to come in Domo and you got all your data in, you had your marketing admins, you had all the folks in marketing in your org in there, but then somebody else wanted to come in and it was really hard to separate the two from an administration perspective. The second familiar problem that we see is what we call the mass chaos or the wild, wild west, to use one of our customers' terms. And that is really this condition where everybody comes in and everybody is working with every bit of data across the system and nobody knows what's going on. And when the compliance officer comes in and says, I need an audit report on who's got access to data, nobody can produce it. So the key to solving those two problems is really in our all-new trusted attributes and dynamic groups. So imagine I did already have marketing in Domo, and we were all set up, and we had the marketing admins, and they had access to everything, and it was fine because we were just marketing. But sales wanted to come in, and we needed a clean way to separate the two, and that admins for all didn't scale.
So here we go again. Are you saying sales can't have access to the data?
Sales can have access to data, and that's what I love about you, is you're a very sales-driven, data-driven sales guy. So what we need to do now is talk about the groups that we need to set up to really separate these two organizations. So let me show you what I'm talking about.
Show me how.
Don't get glitter on my computer.
I'll get glitter on the keyboard.
So the first thing I'm going to show you all today is the new trusted attribute screen. And this is really where the magic begins. This is where we are able to take attributes for users that come from your central security system, your identity systems, your central security groups, and we can mark those as trusted attributes, which means users can't change them, and we can use them as the keys to drive our controls. So in this case, I'll just mark email and region as trusted attributes we'll use for the demo today, and set that up. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you how we use the trusted attributes to make the groups we need. So really, I need 3 groups for sales, typically, kind of best practice. I need an administrative group that can own all the content and kind of govern sales. I need a managers group that usually has access to more data. And I need the sales all org, which basically means anybody that the identity system tells us is in sales is part of that group. So I'm just going to set up the third because I've already got the first 2 created. And in this case, I'll make our sales all org. And you know it's live because my typing is horrible.
That's how we can tell.
Yeah, you can. Well, thank you. So, and this is where the first place you're going to see is massively different. I'm going to set up this group as a dynamic group because I'm not going to add all the people to it. What I'm going to say is any of our trusted attributes, in this case department, that equals sales automatically grants people membership to this group. No matter where they come from, no matter which, when they get hired, whether it's today or a year from now, they're automatically going to be included based on that. And then I'm going to just customize our little icon here for this group. And that's it.
Boom.
I have my 3 groups.
I can't say boom like Cameron, but boom.
You cannot say it the way Cameron says it.
I hear from a lot of customers, and I even saw this in my own world here at Domo as a new guy, trying to bring a cross-functional team together so that everybody sees the data that they need, but be able to do it in a way that scales every day of the week and with some trust behind it. So this hits home for me.
Yeah, it does. Now, I want to show you how we use the group so everybody knows that we're still accomplishing what we needed to. The first thing I'm going to do is come to this sales by region dashboard. I'm going to do something for those of you paying attention at home you're going to know is new and highly requested. I'm going to change the ownership of this page to that sales admins group. Come on. It's the #1 request. 2 Domopaloozas.
I'm out of confetti.
Yeah.
I'm out of confetti.
And then I'm going to go ahead and share access to that dashboard with that sales all organization we made. And that's it. From this point forward, anybody who is added to the sales org or is a sales administrator to administer this dashboard, they'll automatically be granted what they need to have. Now, my other dashboard, the sales management dashboard, we've already done it, so you can see it's already owned by sales admins. So let's show you what it ends up looking like. So imagine we have Olivia Rodriguez, who just got hired to our organization, and she doesn't have access to anything yet. And the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and sign her out. We'll sign her back in with our test tool here that lets us grant her the sales department and log her back in. So automatically, she now has the North American sales by region dashboard.
Wow. That's a wow. Man, so hold on a minute. I'm still relatively new to Domo. I'm the new kid on the block, and I've been busy hiring like crazy. We're ramping up. I look at this and I think, does this mean immediately as I hire people or as I promote or move people around, immediately they've got access to the data that they need and I don't have to worry about all the administrivia?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what
If I had more kids.
That is what we're talking about here, Jim.
This is awesome. I can see why it's one of the top requested attributes by all our customers.
Yeah, this is sharing at scale. So let's assume that Olivia is one of your rising stars, and maybe she now has become a territory manager in sales, and we can log her back in.
We like to promote from within, and we hire good people who can move up fast.
Absolutely. Give me just a second, and you will see now Olivia automatically has the sales manager's dashboard as well.
Wow.
So can
Just
you
like
work with that?
Imagine that as you're, I've been at other companies with bad systems, and all too often we start talking about, well, can we make these promotions? Can we do this reorg? And you always have to wait till the right time because IT slows down your business decisions. Now we can make the right decision when it works for the business and get the people the information they need at day zero. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's how new trusted attributes and dynamic groups are able to give us the control that the CIOs need to ensure that we can really grow and scale while still addressing all the governance needs. It's a set it and forget it model, and we can finally share across the entire org.
I'm starting to sense a theme here. Business really happy, IT really happy, bringing them together.
Yeah, where does that happen?
Imagine that.
So the next thing that we want to show you is another way that you can use trusted attributes to really scale out the concept of central identity, granting access and control to the users as you need. So not everyone in your organization has access to the same level of data. You have many data sets that have certain amounts of data in them that some people should see some rows of and some people should see others. We can still use the trusted attributes to govern that control at the row level. And today we're announcing dynamic PDP.
Yeah! Hey, wait, I think I might have a little bit left. Yeah.
So Domo really is the first. Domo, oh, we got a video.
You have a lot of data in Domo. Trying to figure out who should see what while keeping up with organizational changes can be daunting. Luckily, there's a better way. We've enhanced personalized data permissions so you can create a customized experience for everyone in your company with the critical benefit of central management through your IT team. Dynamic PDP policies use the trusted attributes provided through your company's identity service to create row-level filters that are unique to each individual. And now you can create a single dynamic policy that grants team members access to rows that match their email. With a few clicks, you've replicated what would have taken hundreds or thousands of individual policies to create. A second policy granted to team leaders lets them view all their team's data so everyone sees what they need. New people instantly get access to the rows that match the attributes assigned by your IT department. With dynamic PDP and trusted attributes, everyone in your company can freely share insights, and you can rest easy knowing that the data is secure, IT compliant, and personalized to who's seeing it.
Wow. Let's give development a hand for that one.
Yeah, so should we show them how it works?
Let's see it.
Right.
I'm from Missouri. Show me.
Back to the computer. All right, so let's use our example again that we've been working with. And let's go to the data set that powers the dashboards that we were just showing you Olivia gets access to. I've already created one of the dynamic policies that I need, but let's add the second one for all of the sales organization to govern this data based on region. Let's go ahead and say we would like anytime region matches a filter from a trusted attribute, and in this case, region, to grant just those rows of data. We want that to apply to anyone who has access to that data. And let's save that and enable it. Let's go back and show you how that actually works for Olivia. So Olivia, when we first showed you her access to the dashboard, she had all of the data. Let's go ahead and sign her out and sign
She's
her
a
back in.
rising star. Let's promote her again.
Well, first, we're actually going to restrict her just to Wes.
Well, these salespeople, you got to watch them.
She's got to earn her stripes. So let's go ahead and add her
raise her
trusted
quota?
attribute. You can raise her quota. Let's grant her the Western attribute and go ahead and look at the sales by region dashboard. And
Boom.
she automatically got what she needed to.
You know, I was talking to a customer last night, and he was relaying to me how when they buy companies or they move people in, how much manual process used to be involved in this with other systems. So
Right.
I can really see the customers are going to love stuff like this.
Yeah, this is going to work as you move employees, as people get granted new access in the identity system. These policies are just going to move with them, including grow their position.
Let's talk about moving these people, right? So one of the things I hear a lot of is about agility and business transformation. So the ability to move people. You know, let's say she is doing great and I want to promote her. I'm always worried about how long it takes to make all those moves behind the scenes and give her the data that she needs.
That's going to happen automatically in the identity system. If she gets a new attribute for her manager role, it will automatically show up here.
Wow.
So you're not going to have to do anything.
I never do.
So for those of you in the audience who have been using PDP to create the controls on the data that your company needs, you know what we're talking about here. You know that there used to be hundreds of policies you would have to create to get the kind of flexibility we just showed with 2 policies. So it's automatic now. The CIO is not going to have any concerns about being able to put more and more data into the hands of decision makers and people out on the line. So try doing this with something else. What have you seen out there that is doing this at scale across all data that you can have?
You know, I was thinking about that, and but you know what? There's only Domo.
There's only Doma.
Boom.
Good job.
All right, last piece here. So Adam, if I had $1 for every time I've either heard the story or experienced it myself of an emergency on a Sunday because data's lost, are the cards populating correctly? Are they refreshing? Where'd the data go? You know, I'd be able to buy a new suit at least, right? If that happened. A lot of times the data in the pipeline doesn't refresh rate, and customers don't know why. Have you ever heard of this, and what are we doing to fix this?
Well, let's ask the audience. How many have got that call? Where somebody calls and they say, I'm looking at the card, but I'm not sure it's right. Can you figure it out? And you don't even know if you can say yes it is or no it's not.
Right.
So why don't we take a look at how we can turn that problem from a needle in a haystack problem, which sometimes it can be because sometimes you have data flows, you have many different connectors, many different data sets that come together, and what you see in a card might be the product of several different types of data all coming together, and finding out where a problem may or may not exist can be a needle in a haystack activity.
I want to see this, because if there's one more way to get my sales ops people to hate me a little bit less, I'm all for it. I've ruined enough Sundays as it is. Usually before our Monday forecast meeting, you know, you got to pull up the data and say, hey, wait, there's something missing in the card. What is it? And then they got to go on that wild goose chase to find that needle in the haystack.
So imagine this was the card that you got the call on early that morning, and somebody said, I'm not sure the data's up to date. What can you tell me? And the first thing you did was went and looked at the data set, as we can do here. You linked over to the data set, and you really tried to find out what was going on, and it was really just a lot of investigation. But what if you could have come and used our brand new full impact analysis report to interrogate that data set, look at everything upstream and everything downstream from it to find out what's going on. In this case, you can see I can immediately tell that the data set that's powering that card is a data flow, and it actually comes from six different pieces upstream. But one of those is giving me an error that I can click on, and it's telling me that something has changed in data that's feeding into it, and it is not finding the column account name. I immediately know where my problem is. I know exactly what to fix. I can also check the report over on the right here and see all of the cards that may have been affected by that problem. And I took what used to be kind of would have been a 4-hour investigation.
In about 4 seconds, you just found the needle in the proverbial haystack.
I did find the needle in the proverbial haystack.
You know what? If Stan Lee were here, he'd do a cameo because you're a superhero.
So you can rest actually, you have a great example.
You know what?
Call this.
I call this my sleep number bed. We've been using this now here. And on Sunday nights, I know I can sleep well because I know when I look at the data on Monday morning, it's there and it's working. I can trust it. It's my sleep number bed.
Right.
So, Adam, I just want to say, you know, this is pretty awesome. When I first looked at some of this, you know, I thought, okay, kind of techie features. But when I talk to our customers and I talk to our users, they're so excited about it. It's been the top of their roadmap for a long time. And I just, on behalf of our customers, on behalf of our prospects, the ability to bring IT and business together the way you guys do has been fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that we can do that in the Domo platform. And it's pretty amazing what all of you are accomplishing with those capabilities. We're extremely thrilled to be able to push forward and give you a lot more tooling to be able to push a lot more data out in your organization. And if you'd like to learn more about how the new departmental administration features work, come by the product booth and we're really happy to tell you a lot more. So thanks.
Thanks, Adam.
Be my dear